What's up, guys? It's your girl Stacy Cake, your host for What's High, and I am here to review the trailer for Final Destination Bloodlines. So if you are familiar with the Final Destination franchise, you know Final Destination is a classic movie series. It changed the concept of what we know as horror in the sense that it's not monsters, it's not ghosts, it's not ghouls, it's fate. It is death. Plain and simple, it is death. And these movies show like how little things can have a domino effect and have a major impact in just leading to life loss, essentially. And in these like freak accidents like you see throughout this series, it continues, or in this case, takes us back to the origin of where it all began. So yeah, I'm excited to jump into this trailer, see what they are going to do different, how they're going to expand on this franchise after all these years. And yeah, if you are interested in watching this trailer with me, please stay, please enjoy, grab your popcorn, like, share, subscribe, and comment, all of the good things, and let's get started. Oh, already crazy.
My old man just died. I come in as a favor, and now they want me to lock up. Hey, 5-star review, yeah? Like and subscribe and all the things.
I feel like this is going to be very foretelling.
No, I can't forget this evening or your face. But I guess that's the way the story goes. You always smile, but in your eyes your sorrow shows. Yes, it shows.
Oh, you got me.
Yo, I feel that through the screen. Oh man, it's over. It's over. Oh shit. Whoa. Death runs in the family is crazy. This is diabolical. Y'all love saying diabolical. This is diabolical. So let's kick it off with just aesthetic. We have the very like gothic emo vibe going on, punk rock kind of vibe. We're set up inside of a piercing shop. Guy's complaining because he's filling in for his dad, which already tells us he's not even at this place on a regular. This is like a favor, something special he's doing. And so for him to go out like that, insane, crazy. Then he's clearly missing his dad and memorializing his dad in some way. Or, maybe he just really loves his dad. I don't know, but he's tattooing dad on his arm. He has like his picture with his dad on his phone. So I don't know if his dad had just passed away or whatever the case may be. Something that's kind of the vibe that I'm getting in from the trailer. regardless, we have the dark lighting, kind of like this ominous kind of like red foreshadowing kind of lighting. Insane. And I just think it kind of like gives the essence that like these people already kind of dabble in dark things. I don't know, but that's kind of like the vibe I'm getting. Or maybe that's just the aesthetic that they present for, you know, the piercing, tattoo shop, whatever. So the opening scene with the tongue is insane because immediately they're putting the viewer on edge immediately. So setting that tone from the jump, setting the suspense, the edge of your seat feel immediately. Like soon as the scene open, we're looking at someone getting a needle shoved through their tongue, which is a very common piercing, but the close-up shot of it, genius the directing decision to not only include that in the movie, but to really open and keep that with the trailer. Like, I think that was a smart move, and it really sets the tone for not only what we're about to see, but reintroducing what we know Final Destination, the franchise, to be about with this. It's like giving you those feelings again. If you have been a fan of the Final Destination franchise, you remember these feelings of like just waiting to see how it's gonna happen. Because I think the great thing about this franchise is we're not guessing if someone's going to die. You know, some movies, like, you're guessing, like, you're trying to figure out, are they going to survive this, or are they going to die? Who's going to die? Is anyone going to die? Is the main character? Like, in Final Destination, you know people are about to die. I mean, most movies we know people are about to die, but, like, this is what Final Destination is about. It's about death, specifically. It's about fate, essentially. And just that opening scene was just chef's kiss. It's slimy. It makes you uncomfortable from the jump. And I'm not a woman with a lot of piercings or any tattoos. However, like, I can imagine, even for the people who have them, that this scene, this opening scene, kind of has you like at the edge of your seat, just because you know what Final Destination is about. And I think that branding, that establishment of what the movie is about, knowing who they are, knowing what they bring to the table as a franchise, the job is kind of done for them. It's executed perfectly, and I think they played on that by just with that opening scene alone. I know I'm spending a lot of time on that, but I just think that was a great touch, just to even come up with that concept from the jump. And we see blood immediately. So it's like subtle foreshadowing here. Even if you don't know what Final Destination is about, or if you've never seen any of the films, you know, like, you still kind of get that feel because of the close-up shot, the kind of like ambiance, as well as we see blood almost immediately, and we hear someone who's unhappy in the background voicing their complaints. The like juxtaposition, or like the parallel of the music during the scene where basically the guy's his death is being set up, is another like great detail, because it's like preparing the viewer, like, we feel bad for this man, and it's like a sad clown, which is kind of calling him a sad clown. And I'm interested, it makes me, as you know, your movie critic, interested in seeing what his character consisted of, because now my head is going, was he a good person in the story? Because they showed the clown, like, was he a fool? Like, living life like a fool? So the details of having the chains kind of going up into the ceiling, you know, that's, of course, it played into a role of him dying, but it was also a great detail that they were able to utilize it as decor, given the whole like emo, punk rock, I don't know, whatever aesthetic you want to call it, gothic aesthetic going on with the characters and just the whole feel of the shop. It played very well into that, and they were able to incorporate an idea they had, and incorporate it not only into like just a random thing, but they made it fit the vibe of the scene and the setting and where we are with these characters. So I think just all over, I think just from the trailer, the setting and the setup of the aesthetic was a 10 out of 10 stars. Flames for me. 10 out of 10 flames, 5 out of 5 flames for me. It was very well done, very well set up, and I think there's great attention to detail, and I'm excited to watch it again just to see little things that, you know, I may have picked up on. Other details that I noticed were like the skulls, them incorporating the skulls, you know, the skull, a skeleton of some sort has always been associated with the Reaper. Reapers are associated with death. And not only did they have the figurine of the skull and or the skeletal figure, he also, the character who we see starring in the trailer, has a tattoo of a skull on his chest, on his stomach area, and we see that exposed and open literally as he's like trying to get the nose ring, and he's hanging from the ceiling, like trying to maintain his balance between the table and the chair while he's being strung up to the ceiling by his nose ring. We get to see the exposure of that skull, and it's like, oh, it's death time. It's death time. Like, we're dying right now, you know? Like, that's like the details that I love. And that's what I think makes movies great. So yeah, that was something I really enjoyed just from watching and viewing this trailer. Now let's get into storyline. So on YouTube, for the trailer for Final Destination Bloodlines, this is the 6th movie in the franchise. The 5th movie came out in 2011, and the whole franchise kicked off with the first movie in 2000. So here we are, 2025, with this movie that's coming out in May, and it's more of, from what I'm understanding, it seems like it's going to be a prequel. I didn't specifically see those words, but it's saying, like, the description on YouTube for this particular film is saying that it's taking us to the beginning of like how death got started with this like crazy sense of justice or whatever. So to me, just based on the description that they had in under the video for this trailer, on YouTube for this trailer made me feel like this is more of like a prequel of how it all got started and how it came down through the generations, which I feel like, to me, the trailer looks super modern. So I am curious, are they going to be able to successfully wind back the hands of time and create that aesthetic? I think the trailer was in modern day because he was on an iPhone, I believe, when he showed the picture of his dad. So I'm curious about how they're going to connect it all. Maybe I'm misunderstanding the synopsis that they included under the trailer for under the video in the description box. Maybe I'm misunderstanding the synopsis there. Storyline wise, I think it's gonna be challenging to not overkill this because they already have 5 movies, you know what I mean? So I think it's going to be a challenge to bring something new to the screen and to people who are super familiar with the previous films, because to be honest, when you wait so long to come out with another one, people are kind of, although under the comments people seemed excited for this, it is kind of like it's hard to outdo yourself or outdo what's been done in the past. People have high expectations, and the fact that, you know, they've had 5 successful films is great, but it gets old. So when companies and production companies and writers and stuff decide to continue franchises with so many movies and etc., I'm always curious to see how they plan to expand upon it and make it different, so it's not like we're watching the same film over and over and over again, so it doesn't get played out, you know? Another highlight for me for this trailer was that they gave us a full scene. Trailers tend to be like snippets or chops from the entire movie. We get a little bit of this, a little bit of that from the beginning, middle, and end. They gave us a full like kill scene. Crazy to think that they did that, but I actually like it. And I was looking through the comments under the video, and someone else applauded them for that too. They were like, they gave us just enough. And I think by them just showing that one scene was perfect. Like, we got a full scene that leaves you wanting more, and they like essentially showed us how he died. Like, the man was in flames. And so by them showing so much, it kind of like they only show so much of one character. But I think it's gonna be interesting. Like, even if you're not familiar with the Final Destination franchise, you're gonna be curious, because you're gonna be like, I know when I first watched like a Final Destination trailer or something, I was like, is it a ghost? Like, what is causing this? Like, I was looking for an explanation. And spoiler alert, it's just fate. You know, it's just death. Like, they're fighting death, basically. However, like, if you're not familiar with the franchise, I think the movie evokes those feelings, because you want to know, like, what's causing this. You know what I mean? Like, what caused this horrible thing to happen to this man who was tattooing dad on his arm. You know what I mean? Like, I think it evokes curiosity for fans and newcomers alike. It got right into the nitty-gritty, and they really captured the audience's attention and managed to hold it from beginning to end. So yeah, I think this was just a great trailer. Excellent. 5 out of 5 flames for me for this trailer. It's raw. I think Final Destination just makes me question like how we define horror. I always say this because some movies I just don't like. When I see horror, the word horror, I want to be like terrified, you know what I mean? And I feel like sometimes they slap the title of the genre of horror on many films that I don't think have earned it, because to me, if it's not like the ghoulish, ghosty monster thing, is it really a horror film? But I get the idea that sometimes it's not like that type of horror. It's more horrifying to happen to people. But shoot, you got some romances and dramas that could be labeled horror if that's the case. If the definition of horror is just something that is terrible that's happening to people, or gory, or something like some of these relationship movies could be horror films, if you ask me. I understand why Final Destination is called a horror film, and I think I personally, because usually that frustrates me, but I think I can give them a pass if in my heart for labeling this horror. I get it. I think I get it. You know, like, it's horrifying, it's death, and it's something that we fear every day naturally. So it's kind of crazy when you think about how they have played upon this fear. And you know, if you're a Final Destination fan, you know you don't want to ride behind no trucks with logs. You don't want to be on no racetrack with nothing. You don't want to go through the car wash. You don't want to be in a pool. Like, they scared you from doing everyday activities, but the reality of death is that it can strike anytime. And I think this movie, on a bigger note, if we want to, you know, add a lesson or a message to it, this franchise really teaches us to appreciate every moment, because your next moment could be the end. A piano could drop out the window, the floor could collapse, a fan could fall down and crush your head, you could get stuck on some train tracks, you could get a flat and somebody could spin, a car. Like, it's so many ways you can die at every second, every moment of the day. And next time you're complaining or you're not appreciating life, remember, it can be over in a flash. Not to mean to scare you guys, but if you enjoyed this content, make sure you like, share, subscribe, and I will see you guys next time.